So thanks so much for joining. We are here with Voices of Nutley. We're talking to Ray Carnevale. So Ray, why don't you introduce yourself to start, and then we can talk a little bit more about your involvement in the Nutley community.
Okay, my name's Ray Carnevale. I lived in Glen Ridge now for over 40 years. I got to know Jim Russamano and Ann Russamano, who were Glen Ridge residents also at that time. Our daughters went to high school together, and served on the council for 8 years in Glen Ridge.
Amazing. So what's your connection to the Nutley area? I know you obviously grew up there. You've been in there for many, many years. You've been around for many years. Tell us a little bit about what the connection is with the Nutley community.
All right. Actually, I've lived in Glen Ridge for over 40, not Nutley, but I have great contacts in Nutley. I have the best friends in Nutley, and Russamanos are all have their business now in Nutley. So connection there.
Great. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? So I know that you're involved in the community. Why don't you start there and tell us a little bit about what your involvement is?
Okay. I've been very involved in the Glen Ridge community. As I said, I've served council for years, coached Little League and things like that. Yeah. And basically that's how I got to know Officer Rob. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about Officer Rob.
Okay. There's a lot about Officer Rob. He one of the most appreciated police officers in Glen Ridge. He was 45 years old, has had 3 children where he coached, and I mean he did everything with our community. He was the kind of guy that put the baby car seats in your vehicle, and he was one of the police officers that was always around. Let's put it that way.
Great. And so what's your involvement in the golf outing and this, obviously, unfortunately, Officer Rob passed away. We won't get into too much of the details of that, but tell us how that transpired into this golf outing and your involvement.
Right. Well, when Officer Rob passed away, like I said, everyone in the town was involved. We had a funeral service where they drove through the whole town with over 500 cars in a procession. And being a golfer, I said to a few friends of mine, why don't we have a golf outing and in the name of the Charles Roberts Scholarship Fund? I said, and what we could do is whatever proceeds we have, we'll give to a graduating senior at Glen Ridge High School.
Amazing.
So we started that, and we said, great idea. So we were all talking about it. Word of mouth. I went to the Glen Ridge Country Club to see if we could book a date. The Glen Ridge Country Club was fabulous. They gave us carte blanche, whatever you want to do. I mean, because of the situation with Rob, they said, Ray, what you want to do, we'll do. We'll help you along. We'll do everything we can. So in a matter of weeks, by word of mouth, we actually booked the golf outing. So we went back to the Glen Ridge Country Club and informed them that we booked our golf outing, and they said, great, fabulous. And I said, well, it's not really great because we haven't advertised for it yet. So we could have a second date. Yeah. And the membership was fabulous. They gave us the next day to continue it. So then I wanted to make sure I didn't bite off more than I could chew, because now I need another 100 golfers. So I went to the township, and our township administrator, I asked him if he could put an email blast out. He put an email blast out, and we booked that second date in about 5 or 6 hours.
Wow.
So I had to go back to the Glen Ridge Country Club again and told them that we need another day. Yeah. And they said, Ray, you were here yesterday. You told us. I said, no, well, I know that, but I'm here now. I booked that date. Can we have another date? Well, the membership there again was fabulous, which I knew membership, you couldn't book a third day. And they said, Ray, you suggest what you want to do, we'll do it. So I actually said I'd do Monday morning at 8:30, Monday afternoon at 2:30, and Tuesday morning at 8:30. Yeah. And they sort of said, you know what, Ray, you do what you have to do. We're behind you. We'll do whatever you could do. Well, needless to say, we went on and on. I contacted the Russamanos, which were fabulous, and asked them if they could sponsor a vehicle for the outing. And they sponsored a vehicle for all 3 outings.
Wow.
it was unbelievable. So, make a long story short, we advertised, we did our outing, we ended up with over 300 golfers. That was our first year. We ended with 300 golfers, and we wind up giving 4 $5,000 scholarships to graduate.
Amazing.
It was fabulous. The participation in our town, which was a little town. I mean, and we did have police officers from Livingston, Cedar Grove, the volunteer ambulance squad. I mean, and from Glen Ridge, the Glen Ridge police, everybody was, I mean, it was fabulous. It was, you would think it's a lot of work, but everybody chipped in to do it.
Yeah, that's amazing. And is it held at the same, how many years have you been doing it?
We did 2, and now we're advertised now for our 3rd year. Our 2nd year, we had a little over 300 people.
Yeah.
I mean, and the fabulous part was, there again, I said the Jim and Ann Russamano sponsored a car, and they sponsored holes throughout the course, where if you get a one, you get something. And this year, we actually had 2 hole-in-ones on 2 separate holes. Not the car hole, but we had two hole-in-ones on 2 separate holes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Amazing. That's amazing. And when is the 3rd one? Can you tell us a little bit about the date and time? When is that? When's the 3rd one happening?
The 3rd one is, I'll give you the dates. It's, the 3rd one will be May 22nd and 23rd of 2023.
Amazing. And if somebody wants to get involved, how do they get involved?
You could contact me with my email. I'll give you my email address. It's dadumpire at AOL.com. It's like the umpire. So dadumpire at AOL.com.
Amazing. And if anybody wants to get involved, they can contact you. And I'm sure there's all kinds of opportunities to get involved. Really? How do you get the word out? What do you do to get the word out?
Well, it was funny. I actually, like I said, I contacted our business administrator in town, and he put a townwide email blast out, which has helped us. And then it happened word of mouth. Yeah. Word of mouth. That was the whole thing. I mean, and that's what happened. I mean, that's how we booked. And then the first year, I kept all the emails for the 2nd year. So the 2nd year, we had a list of emails to contact people. But it's getting to the point where now people are asking, when is the outing, and can you send me a flyer?
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. Is it going to be held at the same place it was last year?
Yes, at the Glen Ridge Country Club.
Yep. Perfect. And it sounds like you just had an amazing community response to the outing and the, assisting with the scholarships. Tell us a little bit about, your thoughts on that.
Yeah. Well, I'll say, our first year, as I said, we gave out 4 $5,000 scholarships, $4,000 $5,000 scholarships. The 2nd year, we gave out 4 $4,000 scholarships, and we donated $1,500 to the Glen Ridge PBA Scholarship Fund. Yeah. So we've given out over $36,000 in 2 years.
Wow.
It's been amazing. It really has.
So people can participate in the golf outing, but they can also, will you accept donations for scholarships, things like that?
We have sponsor holes where you can sponsor a hole, and we have different kinds of sponsorships. We have where you can sponsor the breakfast, you can sponsor the putting green, and different things like that. And I will say, our first year, our county executive, Joe DiVincenzo, Nutley man, who he actually put a foursome in himself.
Oh, wow.
It was fabulous. It was, and he played on the first hole. He let us off. He let us off in the morning. And in the afternoon was Officers Rob's dad and son. And they played together. And last year, we had Dad's Rob and son, and his wife played last year. So it was a real, it's really I keep saying a community thing. I shouldn't just say community. People from out of town did play in it. We had the out of towns that did play in it.
Amazing. If there's anything else that, what other details or anything else that you want to tell everybody about the event, about how they can participate, anything else that we haven't talked about that you would like for folks to know?
Well, it's a great event. On Monday morning, I should say, we give breakfast, you play your golf round, and we give a lunch at the end. And then the crew that goes out at Monday afternoon, they get a lunch. They get a lunch on the course, and they get dinner when they come back in. Tuesday morning, we have breakfast, and again, they have your lunch. But it's just it's not a who does better in the outing. It's just it's a fundraiser. It's a fun 2 days, and I can't say enough about the Glen Ridge Country Club. They really, they did everything we asked for. They really, everybody thinks because you're playing a country club, it's a big course, a big money. Not a lot of money. That we didn't charge a lot of money. We weren't looking to make a lot of money on people. We were looking to have 2 days for Officer Rob. We'll put it that way.
Amazing. Amazing.
Thanks so much for watching Voices of Nutley. Stay tuned for more episodes.